and Hope TV Liberia.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for having us this morning.
So, where are we heading to? You are
we are heading to the momentous groundbreaking, the symbolic rebuilding of the CDC. You know, the CDC headquarters were destroyed, and today the president has decided to officially inaugurate, to launch the groundbreaking where thousands and thousands of clinicians all over the country, all over the world will be pledging to support both their moral, their financial, and their political support to the physical reconstruction. But more importantly, the physical reconstruction is not the quintessential element of today's exercise. It is the symbol, that is the CDC, an indestructible symbol that today the world will be witnessing. So we're all excited. You can see it's a jubilant day. Citizens all over the world, all over the country are galvanizing to move on the ground.
Your headquarters was broken down a few months ago, and we still observe thousands and hundreds of the partisans that stay in the coverage. They are living from one county to another area. They are in other parts of the world. They are monitoring this. What comes of spirit that you are a revolutionary in politics? What does this mean?
Well, CDC is the first fundamental grassroots movement in the country. Since the country's founding, elite political structures have dominated the political space. The progressive movement of the 1970s was the closest we came to having a grassroots movement, but that movement did not take political power. So in its stead rose the Congress of Democratic Change, which is the first grassroots movement. A grassroots movement means political power rising in the hands of ordinary Liberians. Look at the caliber of people who became ministers, assistant ministers in the CDC government. These are people who've never had experience before in government in the first 6 years. So the country has seen that the market woman, the children of the market people, the pamper riders, all of these children, all of a sudden they found themselves in power. And unfortunately, a lot of propaganda was buffeted against that. You see, when you rise up, despite the intellectual class, when you rise from the grassroots to come to power, there can be significant resistance from the middle class there, but that resistance manifested itself in the form of immense propaganda, which led to the undoing of the CDC in this first term. What the country is now seeing is that people saw the CDC in a negative lens, not on a factual basis, and that's what we're responding to. People are saying that, look, this is a CDC that did all these things, but the new government has come to power, and we do not see any consequential difference emerging. So sooner or later, people begin to say, okay, but did we lie on the CDC with all these charges? And you obviously know all those things said about the CDC were not true. And so what we're seeing today as we rebuild, we are physically rebuilding, but as I said, most importantly, we are reorganizing and rebuilding spiritually and morally. That is the moral foundation that is going to see the CDC into
Tweah, you are an economics. Here is the process. Honor the government of President Joseph Numa there is so difficult in the economic situation. You still find your people, supporters, partisans, and other sympathizers giving their little in. What does this mean in this struggle?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, you know, these are poor people. Citizens are the masses. Whatever they have, whether it's $1, it's $50, it's $10, like any amount is consequential. What is important is not their physical contribution. It's their political and their moral understanding of what the movement is, their commitment to this movement. Times are difficult in our governance. We explain to the Liberian people why we're difficult. We have a structurally difficult economy. The politicians in the country have succeeded in making the Liberian people believe that, you know, it was the CDC that caused economic hardship in the country. What people now understand is that it was not the CDC. We have a structural division. The guys who are in power are dealing with their structural deficit. Unfortunately, they cannot come to the Liberian people and say, well, we have a structural deficit. It is true. Some of the things that happened on the CDC were not due to CDC, were due to, but they cannot make that argument.
Are they not willing to subscribe to your idea?
Well, obviously, it's our ideas that's running the country. Definitely, the whole panoply of this construct of the CDC is still relevant today.
Projects led beyond by the government.
Whether it's projects, whether it's harmonization, whether it's the macroeconomics framework, everything was developed. You see, during the days, during the first 12 years of the UP government, there were a lot of aid flowing, and so we were depending.
They call upon you for consultancy.
Yeah.
Why now they are not subscribing to your idea?
I did consult. Well, you know, they're in power. Let's give them the chance to govern. One of the things we're doing is you don't see CDC organizing protests. You don't see because we know the structural challenge of the country. We saw. There was a time I told the Liberian people we were sleeping in darkness until next year we pay for the CLSG line, which was about to come in, and Liberian people understood. So you have to communicate the problems of the Liberian people. If we politicize everything in this country, if we politicize, you face a difficult. And so they are there now to have to govern the country. What we can say is that under George Manneh, we made sound macroeconomic decisions, sound fiscal decisions here in the country. If we're politicized, fine, we lose power. When you lose power, you have an ability to rebound. I'd rather rebound into political prominence than be dead into perpetuity. And this is where the CDC...
Are you still hoping of the 2029 with this bail-up that we're seeing today?
Well, look,
Are the RCL laws in ODS Congo town, you see many of the people trooping in?
CDC is a generational movement. Our generation, along with President Tweah, founded the movement. The generation that's coming after us will have to own the movement. And every generation will decide for itself what it wants to make of the CDC.
Okay.
Yeah, and so CDC is about continuity. It will project itself continuously into the political future of the country. And we're celebrating today. We're happy.
Where do we go from here?
From here, we're going to the grounds. You know, I mean, like me, I'm going to the ground to witness the groundbreaking.
There are other senior colleagues that they joined the process. They have few questions to ask.
What do you see CDC 5 years from now, sir?
Let's focus on today. Today is about
what can you tell Liberians watching you? What do you see
the
CDC 5 years
rededication,
from now?
the rebuilding physically and morally of the CDC. We're reconstructing our party's headquarters, but more importantly, we're regalvanizing and reorganizing the momentum that launched the CDC into its existence. And this is what we see happening today. So we're all excited. The future is bright for the CDC and for Liberia.
Okay.
What we want the Liberian people to know is that the CDC government, the CDC political party has the country at heart. There were challenges in our time, there were misunderstandings, but we stand today to defend our record any day or any school. We're not perfect in government, but we performed brilliantly and we will defend our record any day.
Do you think that the innocent is targeting you people? This government is targeting you innocently?
Well, obviously, you know, we know that is happening. We said that already. Witch hunt's happening. We see all of that, but we'll go through whatever process. Look, we were born for political fights. I'm prepared for political fights in this country. Whether it's witch hunt, whatever form, I will defend my character. People know me who I am. Everybody knows who I am in the political space. They know who I am. So the politics will be put aside, but we will deal with the consequences and the issues of the country. I think today, we say hats off to all the Liberians, all the seditians, and especially non-seditians who are sympathetic to this process. This momentum is not sustained by the CDC. This momentum is primarily sustained by non-seditians who see themselves as looking, say, oh, this party probably will misunderstand it. This is an opportunity for us to understand this party. Some of us want to become members of this party. We see pledges coming in from Unity Party already. The chairman said
the 18%.
18%. We see more and more people.
Is it real?
So it's not the citizens you look at.
Is it real?
You look for independents who are gravitating toward the CDC. I think that's where the momentum is.
Yes, asking you the question is
Is
real?
it real?
Well, it is real. Yeah, it's real. The chairman said it. It is real. Yes.
Wow.
It is real.
Before I want to know from you, Honorable Chair, what do you make of the latest GSC report?
Listen, today let's focus on issues, not distractions. And, you know, not talk. Let's focus on today. After today, whatever audit report you bring, we have our defenses and we know what we did in this government. So let's focus on today. Let's not distract, because that was a strategy to distract today. But this thing has an unsupportable,
Just a minute. Do you think the government at this time regretting why they actually broke down your headquarters?
Actually, you can pay the government for breaking down the headquarters. Those who broke it can be paid.
Okay.
Because what this has done is to rebirth the CDC. To be honest with you.
A reincarnation.